and I'm here for you today with a little bit of clarity on connecting with your higher power. So getting started with that, deepening that connection, wherever you're at, this is meant to help to facilitate that further. So before I dive into that, I mentioned yesterday in my video, I have all of my tarot scopes up on my YouTube channel for the month of June, or I thought that I had all of my tarot scopes up for the month of June. And what happened is somebody brought to my attention that the Sagittarius video wasn't up. So I checked on that, and I'm not sure what happened with the upload, but it didn't get uploaded. And I have been trying to pull this video off of the SD card. So for those of you that are waiting for the Sagittarius video, here's what I'm going to do, because technology, not always my thing, right? So I'm going to just, I've already started to work on it. I'm going to just film it on my computer and post it for you. So it's going to be kind of a ghetto version of the video, right? But that's what I'm going to do because I don't know what else to do, and I want to get that video for you guys. So I'm going to get that up, and I should have that up today for you guys. So thank you for being patient with that, and I don't really know what happened or why that of all the videos doesn't work, but I think there are some important messages in there, so I'm going to get it up one way or another. So I was talking in my energy report about the importance of the energy that we're moving into and how important it is in this time for us to start to develop and build upon and connect more with a higher power. As human beings, we are emotional beings, we are physical beings, we are social beings, but we are also spiritual beings. Hi, Joy. And so we have this need to connect in some way spiritually. And I think, and what I see with people, is that when we are disconnected from our spiritual selves, we are not connected to our joy. We are not connected to our peace. We are not living our most empowered, enlightened, beautiful, joyful life that we can be when we have faith in something, when we have a spiritual connection, when we feel as though there is something greater than us to connect with, get help from, reach out to, whatever that looks like for you. And I'm not going to put this into a box because, you know, a lot of people say this is the only way or this is exactly what you have to believe. And I'm never going to tell you guys that because that's not where I come from. I think that spirituality is a very, very individualized process, and it's really important for you to kind of tune into yourself and ask yourself, what do you believe and what resonates with you and what connects with you and what makes sense for you. And what my spiritual beliefs look like are kind of just this combination of, you know, I take this idea and this idea and this idea and I bring it all together because that's what makes sense for me. And it doesn't have to make sense for you. It doesn't have to be what you believe. I respect you. I honor you. And I, you know, ask that you respect and honor me in the same way with that. So it's very individual, and it's very much this process that only you know how to do. The way that you connect with what I call God is your process, your way. So for some people, that's to go to church and to go to church every week or to connect in that way. For some people, that's to go to church sometimes. For some people, they don't find God in church at all. You know, to be honest with you guys, where I see God the most, where I connect with God the most, where I feel my most spiritual self is in the woods. Right? So when I'm going for a hike, especially when I'm on my own and I can allow this process to happen, I feel God. I feel that connection. I feel my messages that I'm supposed to get from God. I feel, you know, just this sense of there's something so much greater than myself, right? And I feel like nature is a really great pathway in. Somebody asked me yesterday in comments on my video, okay, so cool. You're saying we need to work on developing our relationship with our higher power. So how do we start that process? How do we do that? Because I think some people have had really bad experiences, because I'll tell you, there are a lot of, in my opinion, religious backgrounds that or religious structures that come from a place of fear. And I personally, my spiritual beliefs don't come from a place of fear, okay? But sometimes that fear-based energy leads to really negative experiences for people, and not always, right? There's a lot of really good things coming out of that as well, but it can also lead to a lot of challenging or difficult experiences. And so sometimes I have people who come my way and they are just afraid to believe in anything because they've been so impacted by what people are calling, God or faith or whatever, but it's really a fear-based energy. Doing something that's harmful to somebody just because, it fits those boxes of whatever those beliefs are. So people get afraid to make that connection, to reconnect. But here's the thing is, you don't have to follow that same structure that you followed before. In fact, if that was really harmful to you, I don't recommend it. Explore, what do I believe? And that's, I think, where you start to build that connection, is asking yourself, what do I believe and what feels right? And you might listen to other people's ideas about that. I've learned a whole lot about my spirituality through hearing different people's ideas. Sometimes they'll say something and I'm like, I listen to my intuition and my gut and I think, nope, that does not feel right to me at all. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't resonate. That doesn't connect. And then other times they'll say something and I'm just like, oh, that really feels right, feels correct, makes sense. And I'm constantly exploring that. I'm constantly adjusting that. I'm not stuck in this black and white, it has to be this and it has to be that and this is my view of the world. No, I'm exploring that, and that's what I get to do, as a spiritual being and a spiritual person. And so I allow myself to do that, and it looks like whatever it needs to look like for me. And so letting yourself participate in that process, you might read up on some spiritual texts, some religious texts, and see, does something stand out to you? Does something resonate to you? Does something not? And just kind of listening to how you're responding to that. You can connect through nature. Like I said, this is a big way that I connect. There is this amazing research that takes a look at how we respond to nature, and I'm trying to remember the exact details of it, but it was something like they had people go out and watch the sunset for 1 week, and they measured their level of depression before and they measured their level of depression afterwards, and it was a huge significant difference. So if you can get yourself outside, if you can be looking at the sky, if you can watch the sunset once a week or the sunrise once a week, that is going to help you to feel connected spiritually. Because at least for me, when I'm looking up at the sky, whether it's the moon, whether it's the sunset, whether it's, the clouds in the sky, the sun, I feel like there's something greater than I am. I just begin to get that feeling, and I begin to get that feeling of, oh my gosh, I just really love this world, and I love this world that was created and that I live in, and this feeling of that there's something greater than me that created it. And so we just kind of allow that process, and that's my process. But spend some time in nature, spend some time looking at the sky, spend some time looking at the moon, and tell me that you don't feel something if you really just let yourself tune into that. Or, it's things like this, when we're sitting here talking about this stuff and you're feeling my words, check in with yourself. Are you feeling something? And is that your spirituality being awakened? But I think that it's just really important that you start to try to, if it feels right for you, explore that a little bit and open to that a little bit. And I said in my response to that post yesterday, I said, you know what? Maybe you just kind of say hi to God or to your higher power, whatever that is. Maybe you don't say anything more. Maybe you're not ready to do a prayer or set intentions or ask anything of your higher power, but maybe you just want to say hi and begin to open the energy, and maybe you slowly ease into that. I think I said in the post, maybe you say hi, then maybe you ask God to have a cup of coffee with you, and then maybe you ask God to dinner, so you slowly kind of ease into that, and then maybe you and God are starting to spend several days of the week together, and you just allow that relationship to build and expand and connect. But what I can tell you guys is this: if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling disconnected, if you're feeling like things aren't going your way, or just this need for something greater, something bigger, something better, this is truly one of the best ways, probably the best way that I know to find your way and to reconnect with your soul, to reconnect with your best life path, and to find that joy and peace and happiness that we're all seeking. Because I can tell you one thing, when you have an experience where you take a look or where something happens in your life and you recognize, oh my gosh, like something beyond me just helped me with that. Something beyond me just, supported me or helped me or changed that situation in some way. There's such an amazing, supported, loved feeling. And the more you can continue to build on that, the more amazing that it can be. And, the less alone that you feel in this world. I always say, like, when we feel that connection to our higher power and we feel supported by that, it's really, really hard for us to feel alone and unsupported. So I hope that you guys start to open to that idea. I hope that you guys start to explore what you think, what you feel, and maybe just give God or your higher power that invitation to start to connect with you again. So take care, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will work on getting that Sagittarius video up, and I will see you guys soon with another video. Take care.